Good evening. This is the July 10th, 2024, the Seminole County Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This board is a 7-member board appointed by the Board of County Commissioners. A quorum has been established to hold tonight's meeting. Public hearing items acted upon by this board are referred to the Board of County Commissioners for further consideration. Board members present tonight are, from my left, Commissioner Lourdes Aguirre, Commissioner Tim Smith, Commissioner Carissa Lawhon, me, Chairman Dan Lopez, Commissioner Mike Lawrence, and Commissioner Richard German. Staff present tonight are Dale Hall, Planning and Development Manager, Jose Gomez, County Manager's Office Chief Administrator, Nisa Borkert, Deputy County Attorney, Vladimir Simonovsky, Development Review Engineering Manager, Annie Silloway, the Senior Planner, Angie Gates, Planner, Tammy Brushwood, P&Z Board Clerk. Tonight's meeting will go as follows. Staff will introduce the item. The applicant will present the item. Audience members wishing to speak will then be heard. If you wish to speak, please complete a comment card and give it to the clerk. Comment cards are located in the lobby. Speakers should restrict their comments to information directly related to the item being heard. Audience speakers will have 3 minutes to speak, or 6 minutes if you're representing a group. When called, speakers should approach the microphone, providing their name and address for the record. The board may ask questions of the speaker. After all speakers have been heard, public comment will be closed. The applicant will be given a chance for rebuttal. Any items shown, such as videos, presentations, pictures, or maps, must be left with the clerk for public record.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Items shown from electronic devices should be emailed to the clerk. A motion will be made and seconded. Board discussion may occur and conclude with the vote. I will request a roll call vote for any split votes. The first item of the agenda is the approval of proof of publications. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Next item is the approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion?
So I move we approve.
We have a motion to
Second.
approve. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Next, we have a technical review items, the Wilderness Estates Preliminary Subdivision Plan. Annie Silloway will be presenting.
Hi, good evening. Annie Silloway, Senior Planner with Development Services. I'll be presenting Wilderness Estates PSP. The applicant is requesting approval of the Wilderness Estates Preliminary Subdivision Plan. The subject property has a Rural 5 future land use, which allows a maximum of 1 dwelling unit per net buildable acre. The PSP proposes 9 single-family residential lots on approximately 54.70 acres, yielding 1 dwelling unit per 6 net buildable acres. The subject property is within the Scenic Corridor Overlay Zoning District, which is to preserve and enhance the rural character and scenic qualities along major and minor roadways in the rural area, with the intent to prevent visual encroachment of buildings and structures by requiring a 200-foot setback from center line of the roadway and requiring the preservation of the existing vegetation along the major and minor roadway system. The applicant has met the requirements of the scenic corridor by providing a setback of 200 feet from the center line of the right-of-way, a natural buffer in tracks A and B that front County Road 426, and access will be limited by 1 access point for all 9 lots onto County Road 426. And the proposed fence along County Road 426 will be made of natural material, open wood fence with horizontal rails. Based on the aerials, there does not appear to be wetlands or floodplain on site, and all internal roads will be public, and each lot will be providing water and individual potable water wells and will be utilizing an advanced septic system for wastewater. Staff has reviewed the required submittals and finds the request is in compliance with all applicable provisions of Chapter 35 of the Seminole County Land Development Code and with the land use and zoning designation of the property. Staff recommends the approval of the preliminary subdivision plan for the Wilderness Estates subdivision containing 9 residential lots on approximately 54.70 acres, zoned R5, located approximately a quarter-mile south of West State Road 46 and North County Road 426. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Seeing none, is the applicant here and wish to speak?
Good afternoon, John Herpert, American Civil Engineering, and
Daniel Bork with All in Homes.
and we agree with staff's recommendations in the report.
Okay. Any questions from the board for the applicant? All right, seeing none. Is there any comments from the audience? Does anybody from the audience wish to speak? Seeing none. All right, I will close public comment. Do we have a motion from the board?
Okay, go ahead. I'll make a motion.
Please, go ahead.
Well, these are my neighbors, so I'm really happy about this happening, so I'll make a motion to,
Do you want to go ahead and read the motion?
go ahead, you read.
Okay. I'll make a motion to recommend approval of the preliminary subdivision plan for the Wilderness Estates subdivision containing 9 residential lots on approximately 5.7 acres, zone R5, rural zoning classification, rural subdivision standards, located approximately 0.25 miles south of West State Road 46 and north of County Road 426.
Second. Thank you.
All right, we have a motion to approve and a second. Do we have any comments? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, next item. We'll move into public hearing items. Next item on the agenda is going to be 5080 Wayside Drive, special exception. Angie Gates will be presenting.
Good evening. For the record, Angie Gates, planner with Development Services. The applicant is requesting a special exception approval to operate an assisted living facility that will care for 12 non-driving residents located at 5080 Wayside Drive in Sanford in the A1 Agricultural Zoning District. In 1998, the Board of Adjustment approved a special exception for a maximum of 12 residents at the subject property. The Seminole County Land Development Code states that when the use of land under a special exception has been discontinued or abandoned for 180 days or longer, the use of land shall revert to the permitted uses in the district in which said land is located. In 1998, special exception expired when the property became vacant for over 180 days, sometime in 2021, requiring the current owner to apply for a new special exception. The requested use is compatible with the character of the surrounding area and is consistent with the trend of development. The surrounding area consists of single-family residential, multifamily apartments, and retail commercial. The proposed use meets the criteria for granting of a special exception and will allow the applicant to reinstate the same use that was previously in place for 23 years. In compliance with the community meeting procedures, the applicant conducted a community meeting on October 31st, 2023. Details of the community meeting have been provided in the agenda package. Staff has not received any letters of support or opposition, but did receive a few inquiries about what exactly the special exception was for. Staff requests the Planning and Zoning Board recommend the approval to the Board of County Commissioners for the special exception and associated development order for an assisted living facility with no more than 12 residents. This concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have for staff.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the board? Seeing none. Is the applicant present? Please come forward.
Good evening. My name is Ari Ziyaraza. I'm from Green Crossing LAL living facility, and I'm here to hear what is the final words and what would be approval for me.
Thank you, sir. Any questions from the board? Seeing none. We'll open up for any audience comments. Anybody from the audience wish to be heard? Seeing none, all right. We'll entertain a motion at this point.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to request the Board of County Commissioners approve the special exception and associated development order for an assisted living facility with no more than 12 residents in the A1 zoning district on 1.44 acres located on the north side of Wayside Drive, west of International Parkway.
Second.
We have a motion to approve and a second. Any comments on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you very much. All right, third item of the agenda, we have the Castleberry Public Storage Small Scale Future Land Use Map Amendment and to PD rezone. Annie Silloway will be presenting.
Good evening, Annie Silloway, Development Services. The applicant is requesting a small-scale future land use map amendment from commercial to planned development and a rezone from C2 general commercial to PD planned development to redevelop the existing 3.91 acres mini storage facility site to a self-storage facility. The subject property is currently developed as a non-climate controlled mini storage facility with 16 storage buildings that were permitted in 1986. At that time, the existing commercial future land use and C2 zoning classification allowed for self-storage as a permitted use. Due to revisions to the Seminole County Comprehensive Plan and Land Development Code over the years, storage facilities are now considered an industrial use and are no longer permitted under the commercial future land use and C2 zoning classification. The applicant proposes to redevelop the site with 2 climate-controlled storage buildings with an overall maximum floor area ratio of 1.25 and a gross floor area of 158,219 square feet and 3 stories with a maximum building height of 45 feet for the main building that faces State Road 436, and for the second building, a maximum building height of 15 feet located behind the main building. There are approximately 2 acres of floodplain on site, and redevelopment of the site will address stormwater runoff and provide compensating storage for the mitigation of floodplain, which will provide efficient compensating storage due to the flood issues. The existing communication tower on the northwest portion of the site will remain and will have legal access. The applicant's request for the planned development future land use and PD zoning classification is due to the proposed FAR of 1.25, exceeding the commercial future land use limit of 0.35. In the Seminole County Comprehensive Plan under Objective 4.4 in Chapter 30, Part 25 of PD zoning classification, there is no limit for FAR, as each development is reviewed on a case-by-case basis. The property's small acreage presents a challenge regarding the Land Development Code requirements related to the maximum building height of 35 feet to the proposed building height of 45 feet. The reason for the increase in building height is due to the redevelopment of the site to mitigate for the substantial floodplain area on site and provide a new stormwater pond that was not previously developed on site. These 2 items limit the area as to where the storage buildings can be placed. Due to the limitations on site, the applicant has agreed to the following site condition designs to mitigate any impacts to the surrounding uses and properties. First thing is outdoor storage will be prohibited. The applicant has provided an architectural rendering that shows mirrored windows facing State Road 436, and it will be placed as an Exhibit C in the development order. The applicant will provide 2 electric vehicle charging stations, and entrance bay doors to access the main building will not be visible from State Road 436 and will only face internally to the site. And the last thing is the applicant will be meeting the building setbacks in C2 zoning. The site is located in the City of Castleberry Utility Service Area and will be required to connect to their water. And a gravity sewer main is not available in the area, but will be working out the kinks for a septic tank at the time of final development plan. Staff finds the requested PD zoning classification to be consistent with the comprehensive plan and compatible with the trend of development in the area along State Road 436, which is consistent with the general commercial and high-intensity commercial uses, including big box stores, for example, like Walmart. The proposed development will provide an upgrade to the visual appearance of the current mini storage on the property and is similar to the public storage located south of State Road 436, approximately a half a mile south at 1355 State Road 436 in Castleberry. The applicant has conducted a community meeting on April 9th, 2024, And just for the record, there are a few minor typos within the development order. The first is under condition O. There is verbiage that states of storage area plus 1 space per 2 employees added to the parking requirements. So that last section of condition O just needs to be deleted. The parking requirements should only state 1 parking space per 10,000 square feet of gross floor area. And the next typo is under condition P. It should state north instead of the east portion of the site will be fenced. Staff requests the Board of County Commissioners adopt the ordinance enacting a small-scale future land use map amendment from commercial to planned development and a rezone from C2 general commercial to PD planned development, and approve the associated development order and master development plan for approximately 3.91 acres located on the west side of State Road 436, approximately a quarter-mile north of Lake Howell Road. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the board?
Yes, and this may be just an old rendering, but on page 57, the rendering, you said that there was not going to be any outside storage facility, but it shows like there's an outside facility. That's on page 57, maybe?
Outside storage, so like any boats or
Oh, okay.
that type of thing. Yes, ma'am. Yeah,
Thank you.
great question. You're welcome.
Any other questions from the board? Seeing none, is the applicant here? Please come forward.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. I'm Tom Sullivan with the Gray Robinson Law Firm, 301 East Pine Street in Orlando. On behalf of the applicant team, I just wanted to thank staff for their detailed presentation, including the cleanups to the development order, and would appreciate your support and happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the board for the applicant? Seeing none. All right, we'll open it up for a public comment. Anybody from the audience wish to speak on the matter? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and we will entertain a motion from the board. Could be a motion for, against.
Guys, come on. Okay, I'll
Quiet
go ahead.
group.
Make a motion to request the Board of County Commissioners adopt the ordinance enacting a small-scale future land use map amendment from commercial to planned development and a rezone from C2 general commercial to PD planned development, and approve the associated development order and master development plan for approximately 3.91 acres located on the west side of State Road 436, approximately a quarter-mile north of Lake Howell Road.
Second.
We have a motion to approve and a
Chairman.
second. Any comment on the motion? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just quick question. Does your motion include the 2 changes that
Yes.
Annie referenced in sections O and P?
Yes.
And the second, do you
I
agree with
consent.
that?
I consent.
All right, so we have a friendly amendment to the motion that's been approved by the second. Any comment on the motion as it stands? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, the ayes have it. Thank you very much. All right, moving into closing business, managers, directors report. Dale, do you have anything for the board tonight?
Yes, the only thing we have is next month, we will be doing the training I've been saying over and over and warning about. So in August 7th, you'll have trainings. It will be a light agenda. I think there's 1 or 2 items, and then we'll have a training by myself and NASA on, for the Planning and Zoning Board, okay?
All right, excellent, thank you. All right, any other comments from staff? See none. Any comments from, or anything that the board wishes to discuss?
What does the training consist of? What's your training going to consist of?
Training consists of some legal matters that need to be under consideration for board members as being more board members, things you can do, can't do, and then purposes of what you're actually doing up there, and then some training 101 for planning and zoning. So planning and zoning training of 101, which will be helpful also for anyone that's here to learn a little bit about what planning and zoning is and how it affects what we're doing and why you're here.
Thank you.
I can tell you that my training will consist of the ethics requirements, because you're on the board, sunshine law requirements, and public records. and your duties as board members of, to comply with the Sunshine Law.
Excellent. All right, good. Anything else that the board would like to discuss? Seeing none, all right. Well, meeting adjourned.
It sounds like it's not one for you to miss, Richard.
It's gonna be enthralling.